Slowly increase your confidence. Like if you are putting an implant in some patient with insufficient bone and it is your first implant, then it is heroics. We call it HERO-dontics, heroic dentistry.
Oh,
Don't
nice.
do that. Go for a simple case when you are when you
Hi guys, welcome to LDFS podcast. Today's session will be very deep and we will be interesting a lot of interesting stuffs. We'll be discussing about tips to convert your patients. We'll be discussing about how you can handle the mistakes in your clinic, and the third major part, how to retain your employees for a longer time. And these three interesting topics, the tips and tricks, will be shared by a 3-decade long dentist. So this whole next half an hour will be power packed. Keep your paper and pen in hand, start noting down, and start applying those things from day one onwards. So today we have with us Dr. Samidha Gandhi, who has a 3-decade long experience, who has a 3 dental chair set up in Panvel, that is Bombay. She is well-known figure in Bombay. She is a social helper. She has been a chief guest to various events. She is the president of Panvel Dental Association. She has been a mentor to a lot of people, lot of dentists. She has, I think, around 20 plus, I should say, associates have been trained under her. I was fortunate even to be one of them, so she is my guru. I have learned a lot of things from her, and I hope you guys will learn a lot of things today from today's session. So we will be discussing something very interesting. Hi, ma'am. Welcome to LDFS podcast. It's a
Hi,
pleasure to have you here. Thank
thank
you
you.
so much for taking out time
Same
from your
here,
busy
beta.
schedule. Thank you so much, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Ma'am, there's a lot to learn from you, and I'm sure कि हमारे listeners they'll learn a lot from you. Ma'am, this journey of yours, it's like the clinic you have started running. It's close to 3 decades now. It's to be precise, 27 years. It's around 3 decades, which is long time, ma'am. And I am sure that whenever I visited, also when I worked also there, I know that this clinic doesn't look like a 30-year-old clinic. It is to up to date. It is everything is upgraded, and all the new materials which comes, you always opt for those things. You try those things, and the kind of vibe which we have in the clinic, it's very positive. Everybody is energetic, everybody is active. Let it be employees, let it be the doctors, or I think the main driving force is through you, ma'am. So I would really love to know the secret behind it, ma'am. You're so active, your social life and your everything. You do everything so easily that I feel, I don't know. I'm not able to manage the house and office, but I don't know, ma'am, how you do it. What is the secret behind it, ma'am?
First of all, thank you for inviting me over here. It's a great pleasure to connect to the new generation of dentists through you. And
Thank you,
I
ma'am.
hope my whatever talk today will be of some help to somebody in who's listening to all this.
It will be,
So,
ma'am. Trust me.
first of all, when I started practicing, luckily, when 27 years ago, there were hardly any dentists around. So
Hmm.
that time it was patients who needed us. Like we were hardly
Hmm.
7 or 8 dentists in a town, and I was, I think, ninth or 10th dentist to start practicing in Panvel, where I practice
Okay.
Panvel. Is like, it was
Okay.
a huge city, not as big as it is now, but still it was quite a big city and hardly any dentists around. For us to
Hmm.
get an oral surgeon also, we had to wait for 10 days, 7 days, like because when the oral surgeon will get time, he will come. So it was,
Hmm.
the scenario was like that 27 years ago. So
Okay.
luckily, we could get good number of patients that time. But
Hmm.
as you said, for patient will come to you first time, but the patient has to come to you persistently. First
Yes,
time he
ma'am.
comes, and if he doesn't come again, that means you have gone wrong somewhere.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm. Hmm.
first and most important thing is you should think if
Hmm.
the road on which you are going is right or wrong. The way you are
Hmm.
treating the patients. If one patient doesn't come back, it's okay. But
Hmm.
multiple number of patients don't come back to you in spite of taking appointments, or after first consultation they don't turn up, then there is some problem. Then you have to introspect. And I
Hmm.
personally have been doing, each patient who comes to me is my patient. Who's entering my door is my patient. So once
Yes, they
he
are
is
so
coming
connected.
so you have to be connected with them. It's,
Hmm.
I always think the way around. Like if I am a patient and I want to enter your clinic and there are 100 clinics around, then why should I enter your clinic?
Hmm.
There
Hmm.
has to
Hmm.
be something in the clinic which will tell us, which will make the patient come to you again. So what is
Hmm.
unique in me, that you have to think always.
Hmm.
And you
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
go to the patient's level. Like suppose a patient comes to me who is from construction business,
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
a patient comes to me who is a housewife. I will
Hmm.
not be able, I should not be talking to them in the same manner.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm. Hmm.
suppose a
Hmm.
person who is from construction business comes to me
Hmm.
and he has a periodontal problem. And
Hmm.
I need to tell him that you have to get this tooth extracted, and patient is not ready. He's saying, I don't
Hmm.
want to get this tooth extracted. I know the
Hmm.
patient is from construction business. Then what will I tell
Hmm.
him? अगर बिल्डिंग गिरने को आई है, it is
Hmm.
the entire building is about to fall, and then if you plan to do interior, is it right?
Ah,
Then he gets connected. कि अरे
correct.
हाँ, what she's saying is making sense. So you try to talk to him in his language.
Ah, this is very important.
It doesn't come automatically. It doesn't come automatically. You have to think before talking to the patient, and you have to go
Hmm.
to his level. And you have to
Hmm.
always keep on thinking, ki, yes, this patient is, see, everybody knows to do root canal, everybody knows to
Hmm.
do filling, everybody knows
Hmm.
to do extraction.
Hmm.
90%, 10% here and there, but everybody is excellent in his work or her work.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
why the patient should come to you? So you get connected. The way you
Hmm.
communicate with the patient is very important. Very
Hmm.
important. Never be rude to the patient. Never be,
Hmm.
whether the patient is actually being rude to you should always be
Hmm.
polite with the patient.
Ah, okay.
So
Okay,
the
ma'am.
patient, Mani, then the patient will not, once you see the patient is shouting at you, he's talking in a rude manner, and you are still not losing your coolness. After some time, patient realizes his or her mistake. कि अरे मैं
Ah.
इतने जो से I am talking such a मैंने with such a this thing rude manner, but still the doctor is calm and composed. That
Hmm.
makes a lot of difference. Never be
Ah.
rude to your patient. But yes, you should draw a line where you should know that this far and no further.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Mane,
Hmm.
if patient is becoming violent or some talking where
Ah.
you are not taking any mistake and still the patient is not behaving properly, then you should know to
Yes.
tell him, "Ki, "Bas, this is it. Now you are not supposed to say anything." You should
Hmm.
be in the command of the entire scenario in the clinic. It should
Hmm.
never be driven by your patient. They should
Hmm.
know
Okay.
who is the most commanding person in the environment. That comes with some type of experience, some days, some
Ah.
months of experience, some years of experience actually. But it
Ah.
comes. Only thing is
Ah.
you have to be very much attentive and you have to be very much what would I say, that you have to be interested in your clinic, in increasing each single patient of yours.
Hmm.
One
Hmm.
patient
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
is increasing in a week, then you should be happy. Something like
Yes.
that.
Yes. Ah. Awesome.
And as you were asking me ki, how I manage, how I
Yes.
manage to be so much energetic. It's the thing is, I like to be in the clinic. I like to work in the clinic. Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
we've lost contact, I guess. Hello.
I can hear you, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, in between. Yeah, yeah, you can hear me. Fine, fine.
Yes.
I thought we've lost contact. Sorry.
No, ma'am.
So
Good.
you have to be there in the clinic 100%. Wherever you are, like
Hmm.
if you are at home, give your 100% at home. Shut down the
Hmm.
clinic and shut down your mind about clinic once you come home. And same thing, don't carry your house in the clinic or don't carry your clinic to your home.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
understand?
actually very good
Yeah.
advice, ma'am. Because we always try to relate both the things. Like any new cases coming, I
When
used
you're
to
in the
think about
clinic,
that
you're
at
thinking
home a
about
lot.
your kids.
Yes.
So once you start giving your 100% there, you are always energetic. It's that you are
Hmm.
dragging what is happening at home to the clinic. आज बच्चे ने पढ़ाई नहीं किया, उसने खाना नहीं खाया, or anything of that sort.
Yes.
Then it is
So
a
true,
problem.
ma'am.
Or today my patient shouted at me, so I am annoyed, and I go home and I shout at my child. That is also not right.
Hmm.
किसी
Hmm.
और
Hmm.
का गुस्सा किसी और पे निकालना is not right.
करेक्ट करेक्ट मैम करेक्ट सो ट्रू एक्चुअली आजकल वही है कि हम लोग ऑफिस का टेंशन वी टेक इट टू होम एंड देन एट होम
Yes.
mostly the kids are the person
It's
with whom we uh, like take it out.
soft target, we call them.
Yes, soft target.
They
बेचारे
are
we
the
can't
softest target.
हाँ they can't do anything. Then we understand okay
And
this
they
is
can't
wrong,
live
this we have
without
to
you, and they
correct.
can't do anything without you.
Yes ma'am, so true.
That is
And the
how,
part.
and that is how you learn.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah,
And the
yeah.
part you said, ma'am, communication, like how we communicate with the patient is important. It's so true, ma'am, because
Mm.
with different person we have to use different language, different tone, different
Language.
way of making them understand. It's like kids when we learn teach them something. It's we have to go to their level and then teach them those things. Similar to that, what you
Something
said,
of
like the
similar type.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So with the patients also, ma'am, you let me know if you have faced this issue, ma'am. When I started my practice,
Yeah.
I don't look of my age. Like if I'm 30 plus, I don't look that age. So
Yeah.
they tell me always that what is your experience? How much experience do you have? आप लोगों ने case किया है आपने root canal? Then I have to tell them that okay, I have this much experience. I have done these cases. Have you faced such issue, ma'am?
Yeah. When I started practicing, I was 23 years old.
Oh God.
So it's like I had just completed my BDS, and I had worked with somebody for 3 months, and I started
Okay.
my clinic. So I was
Okay.
just 23, and I was actually looking like a child when I started practicing. Luckily, I was tall enough. So,
Ah.
but then I started thinking कि how I would look slightly mature. So
Okay.
I started wearing Calcutta cotton saris. I started,
Ah,
my hair was, I grew my hair, and I used to put my hair in a juda or a flat or something of that sort, and a big tickly, so that I look slightly the mature type.
older to age.
And that helped.
Ah,
That helped.
oh, okay.
That helped. And secondly, as I previously also said, they should know you should have confidence in your voice. They should
Hmm.
know who is the commanding person in this clinic. Even if you
Hmm.
are doing an extraction, third molar extraction for the first time, patient should not know that you are doing it for the first time. Even if, like,
Hmm.
you have done in your own in your own college, you have done 10, 20, 100 extractions. But first time you are doing extraction in your own clinic, patient should feel that as you are like it's a cakewalk for you. That confidence
Yes.
you should show on your face. Under say it's
Hmm.
100, pulse rate is 100, but then it should not be seen on on your face.
So true.
Your heart rate
Actually,
is increased. You are very scared. Adrenaline is like surging, but it should not be seen on your
yes.
face. In case of
Yes.
any emergencies or
Ah.
in case of any complications, same thing again. See,
Hmm.
we are
Hmm.
all human beings, so we are bound to make mistakes. And everybody knows from inside that nobody wants the bad outcome from any of your procedures. Like nobody wants
Yes.
the tooth to get
Hmm.
fractured. Nobody wants instrument to get separated. But it happens. It happens
Hmm.
in your
Hmm.
clinic.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
you should not get panicked.
Hmm.
If you
Hmm.
get
Hmm.
panicked, first thing is you stop thinking. And second thing is
Yeah.
you lose command over the entire situation. So
Yes.
never get
Yes.
panicked in whatever condition. Then if once you
Ah.
are not panicked, then you know what to do in such complications.
Ah. Ah.
And my
Ah.
sir used to tell me that treat only those patients where if you create complications, you should be able to treat them also. Treat them in the
Ah.
beginning. Only such patients you treat in the beginning.
Ah.
Slowly,
Ah.
slowly increase your confidence. Like if you are putting an implant in some patient, with insufficient bone and it is your first implant, that is heroics. We call it HERO-dontics, heroic dentistry.
Oh,
Don't
nice.
do that. Go for a simple case when you are when you're doing it for the first time. Go for a simple case. Then go for a complicated. Don't start with the practice with the full mouth rehabilitation. Like first patient you have and it's full mouth rehabilitation and you want to do it independently. That is not possible. So know your limitations when you start practicing. You should know what are my plus points and what are my negative points. And you all, your generation is lucky that you all can seek help. All types of
Yes.
postgraduate doctors are easily available for you all. When
That's
we
so
were
true,
general
ma'am.
practitioners, periodontist was 30 kilometers away from my clinic. Oral surgeon was
Oh.
in Mumbai and I used to be in Panvel. So that was it, difficult. But now you have everybody just a phone call away and they just come down to help you out.
That's
So
so true, ma'am.
always take help from the seniors or who are more knowledgeable if you feel that you may make mistakes.
Correct, ma'am.
What
In
will
fact,
happen
I.
initially? Yes, I
Huh.
understand that we get less money. If you call a senior or you call a specialist, what you get is less money, but the
Yes.
patient retains with you. Think about long term. And
Yes, ma'am.
suppose you are doing an implant for the first time, you have some mentor from whom you have learned to place implant. Call him when you're doing it for the first time. What will happen? You will not get money out of that patient, but you will learn. Four patients, five patients like that, and your confidence level will boost. And sixth implant, it's like an investment. Think of it as an investment. Like you have invested money in your course. Similarly, initial patients, you invest money in learning. Like suppose you are supposed to be charging 25,000 for an implant. Charge less initially for first five patients, but gain confidence. Call your mentor. Whatever money you get, give it to the mentor. But you learn. In the process, you
Yes.
learn because in any of these implant courses, you learn get to put one or two implants there
Correct.
in the
Huh.
course. But here you
Huh.
are putting five implants, nine implants, and once you feel you are confident, yes, you go ahead.
Huh. Huh.
But
Yes,
don't do
ma'am.
heroics. Don't do heroics.
Hero-dontics is something which I like, ma'am. I think I'll tell to whomsoever I meet. This word is very good. This word is very nice. In fact, ma'am, like sometimes also
Yeah.
like we take up some cases where we feel confident that we'll be able to do it, but sometimes we are not able to deliver that. It has happened with me that when I was doing some extraction, it was just 1/6 extraction, but somehow it broke. One root broke and it wasn't coming out for I think I tried for half an hour. It wasn't coming out. The patient was very cooperative. He was one of the loyal patient. Then I called, as you said, now the specialists are available within minutes, I should say. So I called one specialist who used to visit my clinic and he helped me out. Luckily, that everything went well. The patient was also happy. And later on, also, his many procedures I have done. I have not lost the patient. But many people have this afraid that when we do something and it get complicated, we maybe broke an instrument or something like that, and the patient won't turn up to us. So they won't either tell the patient or inform them about it, or they'll do something else. What do you think, ma'am? Have you faced such issues? What is your
You should
approach?
be political enough to you should be political enough to explain to the patient. Even if you
Hmm.
have created a complication, you tell the
Hmm.
patient in a proper manner. Never hide from a patient.
Hmm.
Never
Hmm.
hide from a patient. See, sometimes it does happen that patient doesn't turn up. Like if
Hmm.
you have created a complication and you have
Yes.
even if you have explained the patient very well, patient
Hmm.
loses confidence in you. But
Hmm.
in the long run, at least your conscience is clear that I have not fooled
Yes.
my patient.
Yes.
Even if that patient doesn't come to you, some other patient will definitely come to you. Everybody,
Hmm.
all other
Hmm.
dentists also make mistakes. So they also make mistakes and their patients will come to you. Or you will get
Hmm.
new
Hmm. Hmm.
patients. But
Hmm.
at
Hmm.
least
Hmm.
you will get good sleep at night that I
Hmm.
have what I have created a complication. I have explained my patient well. Now it is the
Hmm.
ball is in his court. Whether he wants to come back to me or not is his problem. But at least
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
will
Hmm.
sleep peacefully that night. Suppose I have
Hmm.
created a complication, separated an instrument in a root canal
Hmm.
where the canal has periapical lesion. And if I have
Hmm.
not told the patient that we may have to remove the tooth if the instrument doesn't get bypassed, I will not sleep at night.
Yes, ma'am. And
I
that
cannot, even if I
happens.
have a party at home that night, I cannot enjoy that party. And if
Yes.
you
So
are
true.
able to enjoy that party in spite of creating a complication and not filming the patient, then you are not a good dentist.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
That
Very
means you
much.
are indifferent. You are indifferent with your patient. People
Yes,
say
yes.
that you
Huh.
should not carry money, these things at home. You should be able to enjoy, as I said before. But if your conscience is clear, you will not carry things to home.
Huh,
You
huh.
will, when will you not carry all this home? Because if your conscience is clear that yes, whatever I have done in the
Yes.
clinic today is all right, whether I
Hmm.
have made mistake, I have explained to the patient and see to it that it doesn't happen next time. Like today you have
Hmm.
made a
Hmm.
mistake, at least next time be sure or at least be more careful when you do the same procedure again.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
suppose
Hmm.
you today in a curved canal, you have separated an instrument. Next time you have a curved canal, be more careful. That is what is
Hmm.
called as an
Hmm.
experience. This
Yes,
is how you
yes.
gain experience.
Yes.
If
And
you are each patient of yours, you are separating an instrument. That means either you don't
then
know
we
to
are
do
at fault.
the root canal well,
Huh.
or your armamentarium is not right. The
Huh.
files which you are using are not right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
And
you were saying
sometimes
something.
when we, yes, ma'am, sometimes, like I remember the first time I did a mistake on patient, then I couldn't sleep that night itself. It somehow keeps on rolling in our mind and all, we always think about it. Then it took some time for me to understand that, okay, it happens, we have to move on. Because next patient, if we are not confident, we won't do it or something like that. But that's not possible. Like there will be so many mistakes which will be done, but we have to overcome that.
That
And
means you
I
are a
think
good dentist.
thank you, ma'am. And in fact, ma'am, I don't know you remember it or not, but you played a key role in increasing my confidence in the root canal. So when I came to your clinic, the
Yes.
I wasn't okay with
Yes.
the rotary endodontics and all. Then you pushed me for one course. I went for that course. Later on, you helped me understand and build my confidence. That helped me a lot in my later on in my life, ma'am. So thank you so much for that, because
Uh,
that had actually changed my confidence level. It helped me understand myself, because we learn a lot of thing about myself. It's not only about dentistry, but we learn a lot of thing about ourselves also,
yeah.
how to do about it. In fact,
Yes.
if you remember that when I started my own practice, I called you also so many times to understand like whether this deal is there, ma'am, should I close it or not.
It happens. It happens.
We've talked about so
It
many things because we
happens.
were
It
afraid.
happens in the initial practice.
Yes, we were afraid whether it will be successful or not. Ma'am, as you told, at such a young age you have started your practice. Were you confident when you started it, or like how was the whole mental stage at that time?
I was not very confident, but I was more than confidence. I was anxious.
Ah,
I won't say I will. I was because I was in a government college where we used to have.
hmm.
I must have done more than few thousand extractions before I passed
Wow.
my BDS. Then
Ah.
because during internship, third year, final year, we had a quota of 500 extractions in third and final year, and we must
Oh.
have done equal or maybe more number of extractions during our internship than the
Okay.
clinic where I was
Awesome.
working. So
Ah.
it was not that whether I was not feeling that I will not be able to manage a patient. I was anxious whether
Hmm.
the patients will come to me. Because I was one
Ah.
of the first that when I started practicing, number of female dentists was less as compared to what we have
Hmm.
now. So
Ah. Ah.
patients used to
Ah.
think इसके पास ताकत नहीं है ये दांत निकाल पाएगी कि नहीं. She's so thin, like the young
Yeah.
age. There is that thing is always there in the patient's mind that you need some strength to remove the tooth.
Yes,
So
yes.
there used
So
to
it's
have
not
a
about
thing in
technique, it's about
I
strength,
was
they
anxious
feel.
definitely. Yeah. But I tell you, your patients teach a lot and they give you confidence. They teach you a
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm.
Always. But
Hmm.
your mind should be open to learn. They teach
Hmm.
you a lot. You learn a lot of things from your patients.
Awesome, awesome.
And it is really helpful. It is really helpful. Many a
Okay.
times patients tell you what is wrong in the clinic. Suddenly they'll come and tell you that I don't like this color, or I don't like the way your associate behaves with me, or I don't like the way you are putting the names, or the way your assistant is talking on the phone. But then you should not brush away that patient, saying that,
Ah.
"हाँ, ऐसे क्या बोल रहे हैं?" Nothing like that. Things are going well in my clinic. No.
Hmm.
Always
Hmm.
be where I can improve, how I can improve.
Hmm.
Ask what is the problem. It's not only
Hmm.
dental treatment, it is the entire environment. Patient is
Ah.
there with you maybe 6 or 7 sittings, because dentistry is not like that कि one sitting and patient goes away and he is
Ah.
fine. Many a times
Correct.
patient comes to you repeatedly. So they have to
Yes.
like the environment around.
Ah.
So you
It's
have
not
to
only the
know the
dental treatment.
mentality of the patient.
Ah.
It is the general environment of the clinic. Like no, suppose you have more number of children in your clinic as patients,
Ah. Ah.
keep some games, keep some small books,
Hmm.
story books in your waiting. So
Hmm.
next time they'll
Hmm.
remember, "Arey, I was even if I had to wait for half an hour, I had some good amount of story books there which I could read." So
Hmm.
even
Hmm.
if you
Hmm.
have more number of females in your clinic as coming as patients, keep the environment accordingly. Keep some good books, or you can periodicals in your clinic, which will be liked
Oh.
by the, like, suppose your clinic is in the area where people know some language, like suppose Marathi or Hindi, and you keep
Ah.
periodicals of English language. It is not good,
Yes.
because
Yes.
maximum number of people coming to you will be reading Marathi. See,
Ah.
what I am talking is not related to the dentistry, I know, but it is to
Yes.
create the environment. They should feel homely in your clinic.
Yes.
They should not feel like they are entering somewhere where it is, very scary, or they
Hmm.
cannot get connected to the surroundings.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
suppose
Hmm. Hmm.
in India where we have the Diwali, put
Ah.
lanterns around,
Ah.
the rangoli, lanterns, small
Correct.
diyas, and they have come in an homely environment.
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
small things in your clinic, and it makes a lot of difference.
Yes.
People
I
don't
remember.
feel that it is a thought process behind, but it is a big
Ah.
thought process behind doing everything in your clinic. If your mind is like how I should be improving in my clinic.
Hmm. Hmm. In fact, I remember, ma'am, the small things which we have celebrated in your clinic, like the Navaratri, we all used to
Hmm.
dress in the
Yeah.
same colors.
Yeah.
Any festival for that matter, they the vibe
They
was
feel
different.
connected. They feel connected.
Yes, yes. The patients are also happy
They
and they are
feel
smiling, they
connected.
are wishing,
Yeah.
and so true, ma'am. Actually, we have
Mhm.
to think from the customer point of view, like the patient point of view.
Yes.
So many
Yes.
are there who don't take the negative reviews in a positive way, but I think negative reviews teaches us a lot of things, where we can improve,
Lot
how
of
we can
things.
improve. And in the long journey, like you at your time, I think when you started, there were less number of dentists. Right now, ma'am, you know how the situation is. There are so many
And it is
dentists.
over flooded. Over
Yes, so
flooded.
we have to up our game always to be connected with the patient, to not lose the
Yeah.
patient. Make all those things which you told, like the homely feeling and all, is very important. Communicating with them, storytelling with them in their language. These are some important points which actually ideally every dentist should do right now. And there are many dentists who doesn't do it. They should do it, and that is, I think, will take their clinic to the next level. So that's awesome, ma'am. And
One
ma'am,
more
as yes, ma'am.
One more most important thing is keeping your knowledge updated. Only
Ah,
creating an homely environment is not enough.
right.
And now it is more important because patients Google and come.
Ah,
Almost every patient who comes to
almost.
you has Googled his disease and come to you. So it should not happen that patient knows more than what you know.
Mm-hmm. In fact, the treatment also, ma'am, they
That is,
research
yeah.
about it a
They tell
lot before
you.
coming. Yes, they tell you, okay,
They
first you
tell
will give
you.
me injection and then you will give these things, right? So we have to, yes, you are right. So we should have an
So
idea to tackle it.
only thing
Uh,
is your treatment plan should not be decided by your patient.
Mhm. It's up to us to.
You should it is we who should decide the right treatment plan for the patient. You can give them options like plan A, plan B, plan C, depending upon the way they want to expend and their expenditure, whether they are able to afford, or sometimes their time constraint is there. You give them A, plan B, plan C, but you give them the plan. Patient comes to
Mm-hmm.
you, at least in India, patient comes to you. I want a fixed processes. I want a bridge or मुझे that fix that चाहिए. But it
Mm-hmm.
is not possible because of many reasons. And then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, as I used that word previously also, HERO-dontics, three abutments and multiple contexts, and that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
Like they give
Correct.
entire fixed processes, you have only four teeth in your maxilla, and they give them a fixed bridge without even
Uh,
single implant. And you also must have seen many
yes.
people having such bridges in their mouth, and then they fail. They
Yeah,
fail
yeah.
within maybe a year or so, and
Yes.
the entire money is gone. But never do
Yes.
that. Never do that.
Yes.
See, it is hard-earned patient's money. You should not
Hmm.
play with that money, even if patient doesn't
Hmm.
understand. How
Hmm.
much ever
Hmm. Hmm.
patient
Hmm.
tells you
Hmm.
always think, will you do it for your own relative?
Hmm.
Will you do it? If the answer is no, don't do that. Don't do
Correct.
that to
Correct.
your patient.
Hmm.
Always
Hmm.
ask
Hmm.
yourself when you are in two minds, that patient is telling me that patient wants this, and I have to, something is going on in your mind that I have to pay my EMI, I
Hmm.
have to pay my associate, I have to pay my assistant, and now this bridge will give me so much of money. Then should
Hmm.
I go for it? Never get tempted like that. Never get
Hmm.
tempted.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
you don't lose one patient. When you lose one patient, you lose entire family, or maybe hundred,
Yes.
10 more patients.
Yes.
Because that patient
Yes.
will give you negative reviews to the relatives, to the family members, and you lose some more patients just
Yes.
by
Yes.
not doing what is right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
never
Hmm.
get tempted. Never
Hmm.
get tempted. That is another
Yes,
thing
ma'am.
which I always think that
Hmm.
whether I should do it whenever it comes to my mind, karu kya? I always think whether would I do it to my own relatives? No, then I will not do.
Ah,
So you
good
never
idea,
have that
ma'am.
dilemma in your mind.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Ma'am, as you have told me that in 23 years you started your practice. It's around now
Hmm.
27-year-old clinic. Any employee who is there from the starting to till date with you, ma'am?
No, only the one who cleans my clinic, the one who
Ah,
used to come previously.
ah.
Unluckily, she expired. So
Oh, okay.
the auntie who comes to me for cleaning is coming to me since last maybe 23 years. First 3 4 years,
Awesome.
another lady was there. That
Oh,
sweeper lady is
awesome.
there since last 23 years. I have one girl who comes to me since 2010, 2011. I have at least three employees who come to me since more than 10 years.
Oh wow, ma'am, that's
So,
actually a thing which we never see nowadays. Nowadays, the employees they don't stay for so long. Ma'am, every dentist faces this issue that they have to hire frequently. They are not able to get the right employees. Ma'am, what is the actually driving the employees to stay with you for so long, and how is the salary given to them? How is the hike given to them, ma'am?
uh, actually, what happens is, the same thing which happens to your patients, same thing with
Ah,
the employees. They should have that homely environment. They should have that confidence
mm,
in you that
mm,
whatever best treatment they would get anywhere else as an
mm.
employer, same thing will be given to, well, nothing better than what we are giving them will be given to them anywhere else. Like whatever they
Okay.
are getting is the best. See,
Mm,
suppose the
mm,
patient,
mm.
the this thing associate or chairside assistant asks for a pay hike,
Huh.
then you should be reasonably giving them the pay hike every year. I generally
Mm,
do it
mm.
around 8 to 10% every year is a pay hike.
Okay. Okay.
See why if your fellow dentist is giving them suppose 10,000 rupees for 6 hours practice, you
Huh.
give them 11,000 rupees,
Ah.
1,000 extra. But what happens is they will never leave you. Why? Because
Mm.
see, why pay the person will leave you. Either he is not happy monetarily or he is
Hmm.
not happy with the environment.
Hmm.
If your assistants are leaving your clinic and you have to hire them frequently,
Hmm.
introspect where I'm going wrong, whether I'm
Hmm.
giving them less money for the work they're doing or the environment around is not right. The
Hmm.
most important thing of having your the associates or assistants for longer time is you don't have to teach them again and again. See, every six
Yes.
months, if the receptionist goes and you have to hire a new receptionist, half the energy goes in teaching them.
Ha, ma'am. So
It
true.
is the 1,000 rupees you spend extra is more beneficial than having a receptionist every 6 months. And
Hmm. Hmm.
they
Hmm.
once you have the person working with you for next 4 years, 5 years, they become loyal to you. The way you get used
Hmm.
to them, they also get used to you. Generally, those first 2, 3 years, 1 year of your employee coming to you, new person, is very crucial. एक बार
Okay.
1 साल 1.5 साल बढ़ रहा है ना, तो generally it is long term relation. They are
Relation.
also
Ma'am,
used to the environment. They also don't want to change the job.
correct. And
Why
आपके
would
यहाँ मैम
somebody
ये
change the job if he is happy?
यस यस सो ट्रू मैम एंड आपके यहाँ वी हैव सीन दैट टेंडेंसी दैट मेरे जैसे हम लोग जो भी ज्वाइन हुए हैं वी हैव गॉट मैरिड एंड देन शिफ्टेड वी हैव नेवर लेफ्ट द जॉब हम लोग की शादी
Exactly.
होके हम लोग गए हैं
Yeah.
बट अदर देन दैट हमें कभी वो थॉट भी नहीं आया टू लीव द क्लिनिc maybe as you said the kind of environment which we have the how you treat us ma'am that is also important the kind of exposure we get हमने सब चीजों से it's a
Now
package
that
it's
you
not
have
only
taken up
salary.
the topic, now that you have taken up the topic, I see that nowadays the older dentists, like the senior dentists who are employing their associates, they're actually exploiting them. Many
Yes,
a
ma'am.
clinics I have seen that associate dentist is getting less paid as compared to the chairside assistants. That is what is
Yeah.
happening. On
Yes.
this platform, I would like to urge to all these senior dentists that remember your old days and see how you could help the newer generation.
Hmm.
See if the new generation doesn't come out knowledgeable, confident, then it is problematic to the society.
Hmm.
Suppose tomorrow I fall sick, I have a dental problem, and if the
Yeah.
new generation, entire new generation of the dentist is incompetent, what will happen to me, my family?
Correct. Correct,
So the
ma'am.
newer generation has to be more competent than the older generation. They have to be
Yes,
more
ma'am.
knowledgeable. And it is our responsibility as senior dentists to see to it that the next generation is confident and they are paid well.
Yes.
So this will
Yes.
see like how you have in a joint family. सास ने बहू को मेरे सास ने मुझे ठीक से
जैसे ट्रे
she did not treat me well. So I
हाँ.
am not treating my daughter-in-law well, and my daughter-in-law is not treating her daughter-in-law well.
It's a vicious circle which goes on.
Similar thing should not happen in dentistry. It should not. See, if
Yes.
I pay my associate well, when my associate hires an associate, when he becomes a senior or she becomes a senior dentist, they will remember, अरे अपने मैडम ने तो ऐसे नहीं किया था.
हाँ. That's so true, ma'am.
Somebody has to see what I know. My fellow dentists tell me that this is the trend, but somebody
हाँ.
has to change the trend.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. And
Somebody has
we
to
will be the
change the
change. We
trend.
have
If
to be
it
the
is
change.
wrong, so why not you? Why somebody
Yes.
else has to change? You why not? Why don't you change?
Yes.
So I always say that the confidence built up is very much necessary. You have to teach the next generation whatever is right or wrong. And as I see for from so many years, it is many a things are inculcated in the new associates and they carry forward the same thing. Whatever
Hmm.
good
Hmm.
thing they find, they will keep it with them and it will be carried in their own clinics. So
Hmm.
one good point, and it will be helpful for so many patients in a
Hmm.
way.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
So it
Because
is
they are actually
responsibility of
working for
us
us.
senior dentists.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Because
Yeah,
when we
yeah.
when I hired for my clinic, they are working for us. So we used to give them a cut of whatever profit I
It
am
is
getting.
win-win situation.
Yes, ma'am.
It
It's
is
a win-win
win-win
situation.
situation.
Because if they don't see that
They also
they are
need
not
you and
increasing
you
my
also
pay.
need them.
Yes, yes, ma'am. And that helps actually whenever we fall sick or we have some issues, we
Exactly.
can't come to the clinic for XYZ reasons. They are there to help out and they'll do more to help out than what is required from them. So it
One
builds a
more
relationship.
important thing is they are the face. They are the face of your
Yes,
clinic.
yes, ma'am.
They are the face of your clinic. You are the heart of the clinic, but they are the face of your clinic.
They are the
So
face of the
first
clinic.
thing is
That's so
their
true.
face. The receptionist is not interested in working, and she has that disinterested face. Then patient will come to you later. First one is the
Ah,
receptionist who's receiving them. So they
yes.
are the face. Your associate chairside assistant is not very caring types. Then
Hmm.
it makes a difference whether you are treated a simple suction holding. If the assistant, chairside assistant is not attentive, it is
Ah,
so uncomfortable to the patient.
correct, correct, ma'am,
So
correct.
keep them happy, and they will keep you also happy in turn.
Ah, correct, ma'am. So in
Give
fact,
them
the
slightly more pay than a reasonable thing.
yes, yes, ma'am. And
It
to
is
get a good
slightly more.
hire, yes, look, to get a good hire, we need to give something also. It's not that everybody is looking for deals because of this Amazon and everything. Everybody's looking for
Hmm.
deals, like good
Of course.
employment, but at a no, less salary. But that doesn't work out for a long term. We need to
No,
have
that
give
doesn't
them
work.
good salary, give them
Doesn't
a
work.
good
They
culture,
also
give
have
them
a family.
respect, give them respect that they require as a
That
human
is
being.
very important. Very important. Never shouted on your associate or your or assistant in front of your patients. Never
They
shouted
lose.
shouted them. Even if they have made a mistake, tell them afterwards. Tell them
Yes, yes.
afterwards.
They
Till they
also
know
have some
that you are
self-respect.
respected
They,
here.
yeah, yes, ma'am. That's so true. And
Very
uh,
important.
yes, ma'am. And ma'am, as
Hmm.
dentist, like majority right now, the age of getting married and all is little different from what was there 20 or 30 years back. So
Yeah.
that's why I think majority of the associates also which joins you, they get married and then they shift. But a
Yeah.
lot of people ask me this question, ma'am. What is your thought on it, ma'am? That whether we should open the clinic before
Hmm.
getting married or after getting married, because many a time we shift our places, shift our the where we are staying from so long, and so in that dilemma, we don't open the clinic till we get married, but we get married at a later
Hmm.
age, so we are losing so many years of our life. What do you think, ma'am?
See, it is a multifaceted thing. It is
Hmm.
like, see, suppose you have monetary help from your parents, or, you can open the clinic twice. You are psychologically and physically fit to open the clinic twice. Like if you open a clinic and whether you are confident enough, like whether you have done
Hmm.
enough number of patients to open a clinic before getting married. Marriage is a
Hmm.
second, you keep it aside. Whether you
Okay.
are confident enough to open the clinic before, once you complete your dentistry. Suppose
Hmm.
that you become a dentist at the age of 23 and you plan to get married maybe at the age of 27 or 28. But
Hmm.
by the time you gain confidence in running
Hmm.
your own clinic, you become 25, 26. Then do you want to open a clinic just for a year? But
Hmm.
suppose you are having a love marriage. I mean, you are having a love marriage, and you know where you are going later on, or if you are
Hmm.
in the same city. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
suppose
Hmm.
somebody to whom you are going to get married to also lives in the same city
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
your parents are also staying, then you can open the clinic. That is
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
marriage is the secondary thing.
Hmm.
Whether
Hmm.
you're confident enough is one thing, whether you have monetary support is second thing, because nobody will earn money in a day one this thing.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
suppose you start practicing today, you will not get profit from the practice from day one.
Yes.
So whether your family will be able to support you for all that, so
हाँ.
many questions. So you think before starting a clinic. Don't start like just because my friend is starting, I'll also start. शादी करने का
Hmm.
क्या बात की क्यों खोलने का? I will open
हाँ.
my clinic anytime. Think
Hmm.
before doing it. There are so
Okay.
many things when to before starting. Like suppose you have your own place, then it is a
हाँ.
different thing. If it is a rented place,
Yes.
if you take it for a rent for 3 years, then 3 years you are stuck
Hmm.
up there. So think
Correct.
about all that and then open a clinic, whether you are married or not married. But once you get married, don't wait. Open your clinic as early as possible because you know
हाँ
where you are going to be, how it is going to be, and how the city is, and then don't waste time.
हाँ
But by
हाँ
the time you get married, if you are 27, 28, you already have an experience of 4, 5 years.
yes
Then
yes
you should start practicing as early as possible. Because once that sabbatical, if it is very long, it becomes very difficult for you to start all over again. So don't
yes
keep that break for long. Because I don't want to blame anybody in all this, but in the your in-laws, in the family, new family also get used to you being at home.
हाँ हाँ actually
So you are taken for granted for so many things. So
yes yes
you start your clinic as early as possible or start working as early as possible so that it is your mind also and it's their mind also it's what is seasoned in such a manner that yes, you are a working woman, and this is very important for
yes
you
yes
also to go into that mode, because normally we are very lazy. Human beings are very lazy.
yeah
So once you get
आदत हो गई तो
to
गए
be in that relaxed, that relaxed environment should not be there. फिर अभी मैं क्या
हाँ
प्रैक्टिस करके अभी मैं नाउ आई एम प्रेग्नेंट, फिर बच्चा होएगा, फिर दूसरा बच्चा होएगा,
हाँ
जाने दे बाद में, एंड देन इट बिकम्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम.
that बाद में
One
doesn't
more,
come ma'am
one more thing is, as I said previously, you become a new trendsetter. Why you want to get married at later age, and why not at the age of 25? In
okay
2 years, what is going to change in your life? This is a question for unmarried, newly passed out dentists.
and I think you have asked us these questions also ma'am when we were in clinic we used to give this reason and you used
This
to
is
ask us that what is there why are you waiting yes yes ma'am yes ma'am
so think,
uh,
because see the it is Indian, not Indian. It is every woman's life that they have to go to some other place after getting married. So if you get married only at the age of 30, I say, then when will you settle in your life? And this is a bitter truth that yes, you don't settle till you get married, unless and until you have decided not to only get married in your life. Then it's a totally different scenario. But if you are planning to get married sometime in your life, then till then it is very difficult for you to settle down at one place or be ready to change. Like, yes, मैं शादी के पहले इधर practice करूंगी, शादी के बाद वहां करूंगी. Then
be
two
open to
clinics,
change
two
yeah
different
two
places,
clinics
waiting period twice, waiting period also twice.
yes 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 right ma'am
So you
ma'am
should
so
be psychologically prepared for all that.
yes, yes. Ma'am, so you have in this full conversation, ma'am, we have shared so many things. I love the coin like the hero-dontic that is just stuck in my brain. It's just continuously reminding me something. So, ma'am, last at the end, the current graduates who are graduating right now, ma'am, what tip you would like to share it with them? Anything which you want to share that which you did because mistake you did or which they shouldn't do it? Any tip, ma'am?
First thing is be grounded. That is very important. You being a dentist is not something which is very extraordinary. So be grounded, be
हाँ
truthful and loyal to your patients. Very truthful and loyal to your patients. And think whether you want to be a successful person, whether you want to be a happy person, or you want to be both successfully happy person. And work for that. Many successful people are not happy in their life, so that you should
yes
know when to stop, and otherwise some people are there in the clinic for 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, working on Sundays also.
yes
You become successful, but are you happy? So
yes
think, and first, I mean, that what last and most important thing, money is always secondary. It comes as a byproduct.
hmm.
Do good work on your patients and money will come to you. Never
Hmm.
run behind money.
Hmm.
Never practice for getting money. Practice for your own satisfaction, practice for betterment of your patients. Yes, you have to charge them for all that, but it is a secondary thing. When patient comes to you, never think about the money what you will get. Always think that about the treatment. And money is a byproduct of the whole thing. It will automatically come to you. But don't run behind money. And it
Yes,
will help
yes.
you to become a good human being. And remember that small poem which we used to learn, Baba Black Sheep. So
Ah,
if you are earning 1 rupee, 30% is for your future, 30% is for your present, and 30% is for donation.
ah.
Whatever you have taken from the society, you always try to give it back to the society in some or the other way. So
Hmm.
that will make you a happy person at the end. And I feel everything is done for the happiness. In your life, whatever you do is to be happy. So
Hmm.
be happy and always try to make our dentistry better in whatever ways you can do it.
Yes,
That's
yes,
all from
yes.
my side.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a great tip.
It was,
I'm sure that the listeners loved it. Thank you so much for sharing such
thank you
inputs,
so
ma'am.
much.
And
Thank
thank
you
you
for
taking
calling
out time
me.
also, ma'am.
And I hope, wish you all the best for all your future endeavors in your life, in your practice, everywhere.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
We
Nice
will
talking
definitely
to you.
have one
Bye.
more session later on, ma'am. There'll be a lot
Yes,
of questions which
definitely.
the
Yes.
listeners
You
take
know,
out the
I
time.
like to talk so much.
मैम
I
अच्छा
like
है
to talk so much, you know.
अच्छा है मैम बहुत लोगों को बहुत
So
कुछ
I
इनपुट्स
can
मिलता
keep on talking for hours.
है
Hmm.
सुपर मैम थैंक यू सो मच मैम